Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dilbo Dabgins. That's Dilbo with a B. I am pleased to bring to you today Qualifier Round 5 of the Eternal Champions Series. We got a great match in store for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm joined today once again by my good friend, Bizra, helping me out, giving you guys the memes, all that kind of stuff. What's up, Busy? What's going on, man? Good to see you.
How's it going, guys? As Bizra said, I'm Bizra, aka, as Dilbo said, I'm Bizra, aka Bizra Hacks. I run the guild Hacks, which is currently #1 on the Dreg server, and I'm super happy to be here.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you so much for coming back and, help me do this thing. So Crowfall, the PvP MMO that's currently in beta, they just added this new game type called Hunger Dome, which this entire Eternal Champion Series tournament is all around. So if you don't know what Hunger Dome is, we have this little video put together to kind of give you guys the lay of the land, and then we'll get into today's match and talk more about it. We'll see you guys right after this video.
Welcome to the Hunger Dome, the world's first massively multiplayer online battle arena. A competitive PvP match where 12 teams fight for control of a dying world. Each team has 5 players. Bring in your favorite Crowfall character or select from a list of max level archetypes. Teams begin on the outside of the map and must avoid the collapsing dome of fog or face elimination. Fight monsters or scavenge for equipment. Capture strongholds to bring fallen teammates back into the match. Each game match lasts 30 minutes or less if you are eliminated early. Good luck, Crows, and may the gods lead you to victory.
So that's a little bit about Hunger Dome. And Bizra, how can people play Hunger Dome and Crowfall right now? How can they get into it?
Go to crowfall.com, go to sign up at the top in the right there, and pick a sweet name, obviously, and pretty much just keep an eye on your email. Crowfall will contact you when it's your turn to get into the beta. I know there's some promotions going on with our sponsors. Be sure to check out their Twitter pages. Keep an eye out, and you can get in soon. And as soon as you get access, it's full access to the game, so you can get right into the action. You don't have to wait.
Yeah, exactly. So make sure you go to crowfall.com, do that, get your feet wet with some Crowfall, man. It's a real fun game. It's not just Hunger Dome, it's got the PvP MMO part of it too, but Hunger Dome was kind of made for you guys to be able to, get into the PvP, experience that. And it's it's a real good fun game mode, Bizra, just to play with your friends if you got a couple hours.
Yeah, for sure. Like if it's a good fill-in. Like if you don't really feel like grinding, or don't really feel like searching for people, like you can just go out and do the Hunger Dome match solo or with a group, and it's pretty easy just to get into it. And there are some archetypes that kind of make it easy. We'll talk more about that later, obviously. But yeah, it's really, really easy to get into, and they set it up pretty simply for you to get into.
Yeah, so we'll get into those archetypes and talking about the last qualifier rounds and today's match as well. But we got to pay our dues here. We got to thank our signature sponsor, Razer, with their Chroma integration on all their peripherals, their Naga keyboard, their Black Widow keyboard, and their Naga mouse, and their Siren microphone. All this stuff. It integrates great with Crowfall. As you're casting abilities in Crowfall, the lights will light up with different colors and things like that. So thank you so much for Razer for sponsoring the Eternal Champions Series and being our signature sponsor, helping us out with all of that. So one thing we're doing, Bizra, to be able to give back to everybody for watching, for supporting Crowfall, for supporting the Eternal Champions Series, supporting me and you, we've set up Twitch drops for you guys to be able to earn every Saturday and Sunday throughout this entire tournament. Bizra, what are the people able to win today by watching?
Guys, we got some sweet purple mounts. There's a purple wolf that's been hungerfied, and a purple pig that's also been hungerfied, consumed by the hunger, as they say. And we've got the Gaia signal for you. That'll give you some more crit strike.
Yeah, so we'll be riding around in style for today, and then here's tomorrow's mounts, or on tomorrow's drops as well. So make sure you're here tomorrow as well to be able to get your hand on some of these cool Twitch themes drops as well. One thing I just want to point out is that there's been some difficulties as far as getting these Twitch drops goes. One little tip that I was told to inform you guys is make sure you don't have any other Twitch streams open while you're watching this. It seems to be kind of causing some issues. So just make sure you're watching just here and you got the player unmuted, and you guys you're paying attention to here. So go to crowfall.com/Twitch and get that all worked out, get your account connected, and win some awesome stuff. So, Bizra, the entire Eternal Champion Series up until this point, we've had 4 qualifier rounds. Four teams have won it. Other teams have gotten to the wild card round. What has happened so far? Fill us in on the current landscape of the Eternal Champion Series.
Qualifiers 1, 2, 3, and 4 have been a shark battle. It's been, we actually more like a velociraptor fight, man. These guys are like just ferocious. Number 1, we had Magnolia with Zorain on the Inquisitor heel. Number 2, we had YGG Brazil. Coyote really laying the traps down with the Warden, bringing the big damage. Last weekend in qualifiers 3 and 4. Qualifier 3, we had Winter Bads just taking the cake there. Playing like a surgeon, methodical, just really bringing the pain in that final round. And then final round last weekend was Abyssal taking the cake, and we had that interview with Emma there. Here we got a quick snapshot of what pretty much happened there.
Yeah, so the everybody that got first place in all the qualifier rounds instantly goes into the finals. But if you place between 2nd and 7th, you get into the wild card rounds, which will be starting next weekend. So we're going to see a lot of these teams again. As you see qualifier round 3s, you see some of those awesome stats, especially from the people's favorite right there, Vanguard Black, with those probably the most kills we've seen so far in any match throughout the entire qualifiers. And then qualifier rounds 4 with probably one of my favorite names so far, Praise the Mayonnaise, Bizra.
Yeah, that name was good for sure. Another one that we saw was the Average Joes on the Qualifier 3. That's a good name from Dodgeball, bringing it back. We had Winter Bads here last weekend, and I spoke about them briefly, but we had Philo the Jester on that Warden, like I was talking about, making the plays. As you guys remember, dude had 1 hit point hiding behind a tree. Everyone thought he was dead, even Dilbo and I. The other team called that he was dead, and this man, he laid it down. What happened?
Yeah, it was wild. It was definitely a shocking ending there. We all thought that Filer was down and that was their team leader, so we thought that Winter Bass was going to drop out at that moment, but he was sneaky on that Warden, man. Warden being able to be able to stun people, get into more advantageous positions, be able to put out high damage, stuff like that, and then Abyssal in qualifier round 4, they were kind of a newer team, right, Bizzler? They said they've only been playing together for like 2 weeks, and they played just as great. And one thing that I do want to point out between these two these two compositions, that they all were running 1 damage, and the 1 damage that Abyssal had, Bizra, was this Titan here, which is a really awesome class to be playing.
Yeah, they definitely leaned on the Titan. It's one of those things, man, where it's kind of a glass cannon. You can put all your eggs in that basket, but if that Titan crashes, as we've seen in even some of the practices today, if that Titan crashes and he's your damage, your team's going to go down. You're just not going to have the throughput to bring the other guys down. So then it comes up to the choice of, do we continue this fight or do we run and try and survive? So teams make choices.
Yeah. Titan is definitely a high risk type of class, but I love seeing it out there for sure. So that was the kind of the update, get you guys up to speed on what's been going on so far through the entire Eternal Champions Series tournament. We want to get into today's match, but before we do so, we want to give you guys one more thing, for supporting us, for supporting Crowfall, for supporting Ace. Our sponsor, Alienware, we're working together with them to be able to provide you guys some awesome t-shirts that you can win. So what you can do is you go to the Crowfall Game Twitter account, retweet this image with the amount of Ganetians that you see inside of that image, and at the end of today's show, we'll be able to tell you how many Ganetians were in there and who won. And Biz, as I mean, these Ganeshas, they look really cool here, but they're definitely a pain in the butt, man.
Yeah, I don't like them. They're sneaky, and Ganeshans have the ability to burrow even the healers. So you could have a full team of Ganeshans just hiding, like in this picture, and it could be a full comp team just coming out to wreck you. So I don't trust them.
Yeah, their ratio allows any class that they have access to be able to go invisible, which is very extremely annoying to deal with, especially with that high dexterity that they start off with that adds a bunch of extra critical damage and stuff. And then here's a shot of that awesome t-shirt that you guys can get. And I think me and Biz, we complained enough that we weren't going to get one that we ended up getting one, I'm pretty sure. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited for that to come in. Hopefully we can rock that here soon.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate Ace hooking us up with the shirts. If you guys want your own, definitely be sure to check that out. I think they're really cool. It's got that good emblem on there. Props to the guy who made that for sure.
It's
It
part
looks
of
good.
Crowfall history, right? It's part of Crowfall history. So definitely go to Crowfall Game Twitter
Mhm.
account, retweet that, and thank you Alienware for helping us out with that. So all right, let's get into today's match, Biz. Let's talk about the competitors from today. We have a whole new slew of people competing in today's match. Lots of people that we know from the community, but also some new people. Biz, or what are you thinking of today's lineup?
Yeah, I haven't heard of the team No Mercy today, but we're going to bring it back to some of the memeier names here. We got Murderous Muddle of Marauders. They're going to give me a tongue twister. They're going to be the team that I'm following. Some guys I know, but we've also got the return of Corvus Constrips here, and the Boot Camp Casuals is probably my favorite name on the list. What are some other contenders you see here, Dilbo?
It's definitely nice to see a lot of these newer teams, but the greater than zero with Anthrage and Evil Gandhi and those guys are always in my stream, always hanging out, being a big part of the community. So I'm excited to see what they're up to today. But it's really also it's nice seeing all the new names, right? Being able to get access to Crowfall right now and qualify and being able to qualify before today's match. And hopefully, what we'll see is a lot of new compositions, new skills coming out that we maybe wouldn't be able to see from some of these veterans, Bizra.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a lot of resources too. There's the community Discord, the Crowfall Discord. Pretty much ping either Dilbo and I, and we'd be more than happy to help. If anybody wanted to start a new team, it's the info's there, and we can help for sure.
Yeah, the community is extremely helpful. You're interested in playing Crowfall. The best place to find out any type of information is by finding content creators or by finding guild leaders. And speaking of content creators, we couldn't be doing this without the affiliates of Crowfall, the people helping us out, controlling these cameras, keeping us up to date on what's going on with the teams when we're not necessarily watching them. So Furious, welcome back, my good friend. What's up, brother? Thank you so much for helping out today.
No problem, no problem. It's good to be back. Qualifier number 5. I'm looking forward to it. Especially with a lot of new faces being new names that I don't recognize. When Beezer was talking about that earlier, I'm not familiar with some of these players, so I'm hoping to see some classes that we wouldn't normally see today, getting used and seeing how that works out. Looking forward to watching my Corvus boys again. And looking forward to an aggro match. I'm calling an aggro match.
All right, you heard it here first. It's going to be an aggro match. If it's not, it's Furious's fault.
It's on me.
All right, brother. We'll be checking in with him later today as well. Rufio, what's going on, man? You've been helping out all these new players with over the past couple weekends. Thanks for coming back again, man.
Yo, thanks for having me back. I'm super excited to be here today. I'll be following up along with Parallel's team and Death's team greater than zero. As you can see in my shirt here, Play to Crush. I'm expecting some epic neck breakers, a lot of high damage from some pretty tanky characters. It's going to be a great match. I'm super happy to be back.
Rufio, couldn't do this without you, man. Thank you so much. And make sure you guys hang out later. We'll be rating him as well. He'll be able to answer all your Crowfall questions, teach you guys anything you need to know. Next, certainly not least, though, Equinar, my man, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for helping out once again, my friend.
I'm not doing too bad. Yeah, today I'll be following the which team am I looking to follow? The Boot Camp Casuals, Valeria's new team that they've put forward. So hoping that they can pull out some new sort of tactics that we haven't seen so far. Everybody's been avoiding stealth. Maybe that's the route that they end up going down.
Maybe we'll get a stealth team today, man. I want to see it. I definitely want to see it. So Equinar, thanks so much, man. We'll be checking in with you later today and after today's match as well. So appreciate you, brother.
Thanks for having me.
So Bizra, my man, we're about to get in today's match. What are you thinking we're going to see? There's a lot of new teams. There's a lot of people that we've seen before. Do you think any surprises are going to come out of today's match, or do you think it's going to be kind of what we've seen so far?
I think we're going to see a lot of teams move away from glass cannons. I think a lot of teams were trying to just front load damage, and they're paying for it with early deaths. Really, it's really been the tankier teams that have been successful. Teams that take their time and farm and think about what they're going to buy. Maybe they're pulling some gold to their highest damage. maybe they're pulling it to their healer. It's just the teams that are making the smart choices seem to be the ones that are in that final circle with us. So we'll see what happens.
So yeah, like I said, we'll be jumping into this match quite shortly, but we got to pay our dues once more and thank all of our sponsors, the companies that are helping Crowfall, helping Ace, put on this show for you guys. Alienware with their awesome laptops and giving you guys that awesome challenge on the Crowfall game Twitter account, being able to retweet that. So thank you to Alienware for helping us out, and then also Intel with their Core i9 10th gen processor. I use that processor in both of my computers, helps Crowfall run at a great rate, great FPS. And then Razer, our signature sponsor, with their Chroma integration, their Naga mouse, their Black Widow keyboard, and their Siren microphone. So thank you again to all of our sponsors for making this possible and giving back to our community and supporting our competitors. So Bizra, one thing I do want to point out is that Valeria team, right? Valeria is kind of a new guild that's been popping up in Crowfall right now, and they've grown some numbers. They've been putting out a lot of numbers inside of Dregs, which is the end game guild versus guild PvP, big castle sieges and stuff part of the match. So I'm excited to see what Valeria is up to today, Biz. You think that correlation from what they're able to do inside of Dregs is going to transfer into Hunger Dome?
Well, we definitely haven't seen Valeria in the Hunger Dome yet. Valeria has been around for, I want to say, the better part of almost a year now. But like I said, this is the first time they've actually popped into the Dome. They gained some traction in the North America Dregs. They've also got a really good team on the European server too. These guys are everywhere. I know they work hard on making sure they have comps that synergize together, and I'm not sure. Maybe they'll be one of the top competitors in the circle today. But I definitely know that there are teams like the team we have with the Death guys that are going to be competitive. We also have the Corvus team back at it. Maybe they can bring that heat. We've also got some new teams here that we've never heard of, like Alien Army and No Mercy. So it really could be, one of the teams we expect or one of these teams that we've never heard of. It's really anyone's game today.
Yeah, as much as I love everybody that's everybody already in the Crowfall community, I do want to see a no-name team, people that we just have never seen before. I want to see them win it. It's just that comeback story. I love comeback stories. I love the underdog stories, Rocky, all that type of stuff. It's great to see, really.
Yeah, I think recently there was a Crow Battles where a team that no one had ever heard of won it, and it was like shocking. They were just a team that really put their thought into making sure they had, like I said, that synergy. Definitely a different beast, but same idea. Making sure you have a comped up team that synergizes well, that has enough throughput to close, and making sure you have the right healers too. I think to qualify the qualifier last weekend where Winter Bads won, Jaw and Scorn pulling through the huge heals to keep Filer alive on that last circle. And I think it's plays like that and thorough thought like that makes a difference for sure.
One thing I do want to point out is that just because we might not have seen some of these teams in Hunger Dome before doesn't mean they haven't been practicing behind the scenes, right? Crowfall has an entire kind of player world area called the Internal Kingdoms, where you're able to kind of invite all your guild members in and have kind of PvP nights. I know Biz, we do that a good bit, especially every time there's a new patch. We'll get into the Bizra, or not the Bizra, the Hacks PvP Eternal Kingdom, and just practice fighting each other and having a good time. So even though they're not in Hunger Dome, we haven't seen them play in Hunger Dome yet, doesn't mean they don't know what they're doing, right?
Yeah, it's true. Anyone can bring the heat. You never know what they've been practicing in secret, like you said. And I think a lot of the competitive teams do that. And it's not a bad idea, to keep some things secret. Now, I know a lot of the teams today, will be bringing things probably that we've seen before. Like I said, those tanky metacomps. But we'll see if anybody brings a challenge. I know on my team that I'm looking at right now, I see a Ganetian. So I don't know what's going to happen here.
So we're checking in with Rufio here. He's covering this death team here. I apologize if I refer to them as death. It's just part of, you know, Dreg seeing that emblem, that black emblem all the time. But one thing, Rufio, that I found really interesting is that Evil Gandhi is on a Templar. That's kind of wild, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't really see him very often on a Templar, so we're kind of excited to see how he does with this. Their team, they've got a great comp. Looks like they're going for a pretty tanky build. They do have this Druid right here, Anthrage. He does know how to dish out a lot of damage very quickly, so we should have some pretty amazing fights with this team.
Yeah, so that's a storm caller, right, Rufio? So that is the damage subclass of Druid. And why is it so good? What makes this a really good damage dealer?
Well, he's able to do a lot of direct damage and also has some great AoE damage at the same time. So he could just dish out so much damage to small groups, especially in small areas when you get like the keep fights or the fort fights. They're all grouped up in a small little area. He can just, the DPS just goes insane.
So, Bizra, I want to point out one thing that we're seeing from this team right here is they didn't rush the hunger towns for those chests like we've seen in many of the starts of this Eternal Champion series. They took the route of farming that gold. What do you think about that?
Yeah, these guys, team name Greater Than Zero, aka the Death. They're doing something we haven't seen before, making the choice to farm gold instead of going for those chests. Now we've talked about it before. Those chests are going to be a point of high contention, depending on the rarity of those chests. Pretty much determines what the gear is inside there. Now, as you can see in this shot here, these guys just found a rare chest in this fort. What these guys have been doing is they hit the chests, and then they came to this fort to secure that res, so they don't get eliminated early. On the screen is kind of an idea of what that chest might include. It could have up to a purple piece, up to one purple there, but the majority of it is the rare quality.
Yeah, so in different than what that death team was doing, this team decided to go the fast route and hit those hunger towns and then try to capture a fort as soon as possible. So they're going to be a little bit more aggressive, maybe try to push a griffin here pretty soon. But you can see everybody standing in this fort here, and they're not just standing around singing kumbaya, right? They're hitting this vendor. And what these vendors do is they allow you to be able to purchase upgrades throughout the match, and the closer you get to the center, which is where the castle, where the final fight will be, the better the vendor gear becomes. And Biz, why is it important to make sure you have enough gold to be able to upgrade your gear throughout the match rather than just relying on the drops that you get from chests?
Well, there's pretty much two ways you can do this, Dilbo. You can farm monsters or you can farm the chests. The items that you get from the chests can be sold to these vendors to generate gold, or when you kill these monsters, you can get gold as the drop. Now, any creature you see on this map will generate gold, even the animals, even though it sounds a little weird, but gold is the name of the game. Now, making sure you have enough gold for the end game is kind of the strategy here. Not making stupid purchases, not wasting any money really is just kind of the key.
Yeah, you want to make sure that you have the gear though, because if you do get in a fight and you're not wearing anything, you're just going to go down, because eventually the gear does become very important. Maybe not early on here, having green gear and having no gear, it's not a huge difference, but it does get very important as the match goes on. So yeah, it looks like this team, they rushed out, they had to go get that fort, but now they're trying to farm some gold, like Biz said. And as you can see up on the screen, the god statues have just been made inactive. So that normally happens halfway through spring. If you look in the bottom right of your screen, you can see how the match goes through different seasons, and each season determines the spawn and the points of interest that are available. And it looks like this team just came across this epic chest, which isn't, it's great. You can be able to get some really decent gear out of this and spread it across your entire team, which is really important to do, right, Biz? I mean, having gear across your entire team is way better than having gear on just one of your players.
Yeah, one sweet thing about Crowfall is that it has a drag and drop trade system where you don't actually have to handshake. You can just literally pass them the gear. Now, players have the choice, to keep that gear for themselves and hit it on the vendor for gold, or share it with their team. I know some players do choose to be greedy, but the tactic here is making sure you have, the gold in the right place. Whether you need it as damage or you need it as heals, you got to make that choice.
So it looks like this team is hitting this vendor right here. This is the murderous muddle of marauders. I promise you I will not say that the rest of this match. That's a lot of M's. But no, so they're hitting that vendor there. They're hitting that vendor, and one thing you can know is that the vendors that are close to the griffins, you can see that griffin in the background over there, those vendors have blue gear on them. It looks like we're going to be jumping in with Furious here. Or you got the call that there might be an engagement going on. What's been happening?
Yeah, we have Corvus here. It looked like I couldn't quite tell who the other team was. Badges weren't able to pop up for me right away. But Corvus was looking to hit this ancient here, and another team, I think, heard them using abilities and decided to walk on over to the bank and noticed that they were there, and I think might have pushed them out, or we might be having a staged fight here on the Griffin. They're kind of, I think they're trying to suss it out right now. But I don't know if it's going to work out for them.
Yeah, they're trying. It looks like they're trying to figure out. Oh, it looks like maybe that team sniffed them out and knows what they're trying to do. No team wants to engage this Griffin first because then they'll have the Griffin aggro, right, and have to take damage from the Griffin along with damage from the other team. But it's really important to get these Griffins, right, Furious? I mean, it looks like they're getting chased down. We might see a fight here.
Yeah, I think we're going to get an engagement, whether they want it or not. I think they just need to pick the spot where they want to decide to let it happen. But I think that other group's just going to be trolling around that Griffin, keep monitoring the Corvus location. From what it looks like, they were able to hit a couple Hunger Towns, and they got lucky on a bank. I think they were at least a blue vendor. There was a couple legendary chests they got, so. It looked like it might have been weapons. Not too sure, but they might be pushing.
Yeah, so it looks like they're just trying to stay safe here, right? They're not trying to engage unless they absolutely have to. We're gonna be jumping over to Rufio now, though. It looks like we have maybe a Griffin fight going down. Two teams gonna be trying to fight over this Griffin. It looks like this parallel team is going to be coming in and flanking the team that was already attacking the Griffin. Now, this is a really difficult fight. Rufio, who do you have in this match or in this fight? Who do you think is going to win this one?
So Unparalleled played this, the Parallel Forces, sorry, they played this very smart. They kind of waited till the Griffin was taking some damage, and then the enemies were taking some damage, and they hopped in right on top of them and was able to secure the win right there. So they're going to get a bunch of loot, not only from the players, but also after killing this Griffin. So very good strategy.
Yeah, they just cleaned them up. As you can see, like all of those death cardinals are just laying on the ground now. So yeah, they just wiped the field with that team. That was a showing of force right there. And now they're going to be able to get that Griffin as well and be able to get some of the good loot that comes from a Griffin. A team just got knocked out. Actually, I don't think we were able to catch that, but a team just got knocked out. So seven teams left. Furious, what just happened? We just saw a team just got knocked out.
Yeah, man. So an interesting thing that team that was trailing them there, they decided to hit some Elkin mobs there, and Corvus slowly peeked back in and noticed that they were actually a little under geared and just decided to take the engagement, and they wiped them clean. That gear advantage was real big, and now that there's no one else around, they were sussing out the situation again with the Griffin. There's no one else around, and they finally took the engagement on that Griffin.
Wow, that's just incredible to see, a team already going down. So now there's 7 teams left. So all of these teams are going to either make it into the wild card or make it into the final. So Biz, we might see a lot of aggression coming out from these teams, being able to go, because now everybody's kind of secure. We might see a lot of aggression trying to secure that top spot, right, Biz?
Yeah, in the beginning, it's really about making smart choices, and a lot of these teams have their plan of how they want to approach the first 2 seasons. Now, I know some people might say, it's kind of a snooze fest, but when you're in the game, this is the part that really matters, the strategy and execution of what you're supposed to do. If you spend too much time fighting in this early phase, you don't get the gold you need to move forward at the end. If you spend too much time farming, all you get is fat loot, you know. So it's really like you make the choice, which route do I want to go? Now a lot of teams make the choice not to take the fights, and that's fine, you know. Those fights do come in the later game, though. When that circle's closing, these teams have no choice but to fight.
Yeah, and I personally think, you know, not taking fights and getting into that final circle without any blood under, you know, on your swords or on your weapons or anything like that is personally a bad strategy, because you're rusty at that point, right? You haven't gotten in any fights. Yeah, you killed some mobs, but that's not like a PvP fight. So, you know, we're going to be it looks like this Corvus team is going to be taking this keep here after they had that Griffin. So we've seen 2 Griffins go down, and I'm pretty positive saying that, you know, maybe the other 2 have already gone down as well. So that Griffin loot is probably spread out, and we're going to see some keeps being taken here as we move midway into summer. So Furious. I'm sorry, go ahead, Bizra.
I was just going to say, we do have some teams still taking forts here, but yeah, they are moving into these keeps. As the seasons change, it's definitely important to make sure that happens.
Yeah, so here's the map real quick. We have, you know, all those forts that are being taken. It looks like you know, the forts are kind of spread out. We have one team that's currently taking a fort right now. So as soon as summer's over, the forts will you know, go away, and nobody will be able to spawn there anymore. So that's just a quick look at what's going on with the current landscape of stuff. Rufio, you're with this death team. What you know, what have they been up to, man?
They've had a little bit of a different strategy. They've kind of stayed out of the thick of it, staying out towards the edge of the hunger. They've been working on econ, it looks like, farming up a ton of mobs, getting a lot of gold. They are currently at this rare vendor, so they're going to be they should all be in rare gear now. And I think that they have a lot of gold stored within their inventories and looking for the epic and legendary vendors. But definitely a different strategy. We've seen it before, and it has had success. So curious to see how they do this time.
Yeah, it is really interesting to see the teams that like to play the b.knapp game, right? And that's kind of what I assume that this team's going to be doing, Rufio. Is they're gonna you know, hug the circle, hug the hunger, you know, cap things as they have to, just play real slow, play real methodical, get a lot of gear, get a bunch of gold. Because at the end there, Rufio, right, getting that legendary vendor is huge to be able to do.
Yeah, that is absolutely huge. You get some top-end weapons, you get these chest pieces that have just amazing armor and can help you in so many different ways. So these guys, I think, are going to hopefully get into that castle as soon as it's available to get in there, and they'll try and get that legendary vendor as quickly as possible.
So I want to point out one thing here, and Bizra, maybe you can talk on this. They have 2 Templars. They have Evil Gandhi on one, and I'm sorry if I say this wrong, Scipio on the other. So one's a paladin, one's a secutor. What do you think having those 2 Templars is going to do for this team?
Well, it really depends on their damage. They're putting a lot of faith on Anthrage to make those big plays. Like we've talked about, having that perfect balance is really key here. But I think as everything happens, you know, we're going to see how these guys do. It really depends on where their gear's at and what their strategy is like, really.
So it looks like this death team was trying to come in here and maybe backcap this keep, not thinking that Valeria was there anymore, but this Valeria team is still up in this keep holding this down. They don't want anybody to take it. So we might see a fight here, we might see a standoff, but we might also see this this death team just kind of roll away. I don't think it's in their strategy, Rufio, to be able to go and force this fight here based on what you've been seeing throughout this match, right?
That is right. So it looks like they are going to back away and either wait for them to leave that keep or move on to a different area.
Yeah, so they don't want to have to take a fight unless they're absolutely, you know, unless they absolutely have to, which, you know, it has been working out for some teams. But I will say that at the end of the match, you don't want the hunger to be the winning decider, right? You don't want that to be able to be able to win it for any team. So hopefully we're able to see a lot more aggression. Look, jumping over to Equinar here, it looks like we have a fight over a keep. 2 teams we haven't seen much of today going at it. This is actually that Valeria team that we were kind of with. Lots of AoEs coming out from both teams here. Massive Confessor damage coming out. Lots of ice caller AoEs, and nobody seems to be going. Oh, actually, one person just went down on Valeria's team, and it looks like to be a 4v4 situation. I'm sorry, a 5v4 situation. Bizra, how does having numbers really affect this fight?
I think they were not playing cautious enough there. It's a big thing to stay inside these green circles that you see on the ground. Those are the heals. If they jump out of that window or out of the shot here, they're really not going to be in their team's heals. So that's the biggest thing. But again, we talked about having everything they need. It looks like the skeleton army is going to fall here, Dobo.
Skeleton Army just got knocked out. That was a team of new players that I personally haven't seen before in the match. Unfortunately, they just took the 7th place.
Oh, they did the knocking. I'm sorry, Dobo. I misspoke. They did the knocking. Skeleton Army
they did
is
the
still
knocking.
in it.
Skeleton
Yes,
Army
sir.
still in it. So it looks like they're in another fight here, though, Bizra. It looks like, this death team came up and saw the fight and wanted to try to third party. Now, Skeleton Army has the keep, so they have the advantage in this fight, but they're fighting some veterans of this game here. I want to see how this 2 Templar composition works out for Death.
Yeah, it looks like this is Skeleton Army versus greater than 0, and it's going to be pretty much a battle of attrition here to see who holds this castle, or this keep rather. These guys are battling it out here, and it's going to be whoever has the highest damage, really.
So this fight is kind of at a standstill here. We see a big neckbreaker coming out from Wordy there on. I think that I couldn't see who that person was, but nobody seems to be focused down. They really need to try to focus down one person. That's a key thing in the fights in Crowfall is taking all of your damage, taking all of your tanks, and forcing on one person. We see those big Hand of the Gods, that giant fist that comes out of the air and punches people. That is called Hand of the Gods. That's coming out from the Arbiters on both teams. So Wordy here is on this Alpha Warrior. He's getting a little low. They might be trying to focus down Wordy here and take him out. If they're able to do that and cap this point, this death team is going to be in a heck of an advantage. I don't think they're going to be able to do it, Biz. This is going to be a long fight. I think the healers from both sides are going to be able to keep everybody up.
Yeah, Skeleton Army is doing a good job holding back greater than 0, but it looks like they're going to try and play this window, make sure they have line of sight here. It's really just a back and forth, like we said. And here, Skeleton Army has the res, so if greater than 0 gets any picks, these dudes can just run back up.
There's another fight going down right now. We're going to check back in with Rufio to figure out what goes on that fight here in a moment. But we have a fight with Furious here. Looks like this Corvus Citadel team is fighting this unparalleled team, which is called Parallel Forces, in this doorway here. This is going to be a strong and positioning fight, trying to fight along this doorway. Furious, how did this fight start? Catch us up.
So both these teams went straight for the Lego vendor. Minute the castle doors open here at the beginning of fall, they both just made a mad dash and met at the top of the stairs outside, actually. And then it just slowly kind of pushed its way into this doorway here, where you'll see a lot of teams naturally progress this doorway right here, and then going into that vendor in the inner portion of the keep. And to credit to Corvus, they've been holding the doorway for the most part this whole fight. It's been back and forth health wise on both sides. Corvus is looking on the wrong side of the fight now, but at one point in time they definitely had the advantage.
Yeah, it looks like Duffy on this Titan here. He's trying to put a lot of damage, but Nawind over there is getting a little low. He might go down. I don't want to see Corvus knocked out just yet. I feel like they have a good chance at winning this. Looks like Duffy might be just trying to get out. I don't think he just said bye. He just left his team. Oh my goodness.
I think we're going for a survival move here.
Yeah,
he's going to try and survive.
They have no
don't have a res. Okay, so they probably realized they were losing that fight, and Duffy just kind of left, man. He didn't want to be knocked out just yet. I don't know if Blake up there is going to be able to get out. Duffy's going to take some fall damage there. Okay, he does have a bandage. So hopefully he'll be able to get out here and capture a keep. We're midway through fall here, so the only things that are available are the keeps to be able to be captured and that castle in the center of the map. So hopefully this Corvus team can get out to a keep, maybe capture it and get their team back up. There's 6 teams left, 24 people, and this Corvus team is wounded, Bizra.
Yeah, the fog's coming in, Dilbo. Pretty much the beginning of winter. These keeps that these teams are in will be closed, and the only res will be the castle. So anyone that has any engagement right now, you'll see a lot of people just dipping out and trying to go fight for that res spot in the keep. Now it looks like Duffy just saw a little weasel running up those stairs.
Yeah,
might be doing the same thing.
Another
trying to get that res.
Another engagement
2v2.
here. It looks like it's a 2v2 situation. Both of these teams tried to backcap this keep here, and we're gonna see a heck of a fight here. 2v2s are a lot of fun. This is where a lot of shot calling comes into play here. Looks like they're gonna be focusing down. I'm sorry, Cyril J is gonna be focused down here on the Skeleton Army team, which is that green snake. They're going to be trying to take him down. I can't catch what class he's on, but this much focus coming from Corvus must be important. Okay, he just went down. He was on, looks to be an Inquisitor there. So now Corvus might be taking out a team here. We might see a team go down. Skeleton Army might be the team that goes down.
That's it.
They are officially eliminated.
Oh man,
5 teams
2 team
left.
eliminations.
Oh,
2 team eliminations this round. This has been a good one for them.
2v2 to be able to win that fight and get their team back up. They definitely deserved it after winning that fight. So
the headshot.
So
Gotta get that Decapitaton head chop.
That's disrespectful, pulling out the axe and
skull,
chopping off the head.
You actually get his skull.
Oh man. So Corvus Conscripts lives to fight another day. As you can see, their entire team is back up and running. They were able to capture this keep, and they're going to be moving into the center here, Bizarre. Maybe try to get to this legendary vendor. That is definitely going to be the strategy of a lot of these teams. Equinar this is another Griffin fight going on right now. We have this late of a Griffin fight.
Yeah, normally this doesn't happen. Teams tend to take them way before the Hunger gets here, but it looks like the Death team is going to try and take it while fighting the timer for the Hunger.
So this team, we've checked in with them a few times today. They have just been playing this back line. Although that team we just saw come up from Corvus, they sniffed out this Griffin fight. They might have to try to fight over this Griffin here and try to get this jewelry and this gold, but the Hunger is coming in. You can see it right there on your screen and be able. So I'm not sure if they're going to be kiting. They're going to be pulling the Griffin out of its spawn point here and maybe trying to take it out. But it looks like they're more scared of the Hunger and they don't want to try to force a fight with their backs up against it, Bizra.
Yeah, these guys are making a smart choice here. If they take a fight with the Griffin and they lose it, not only are they losing their lives, but they're losing all the Griffin loot. These guys, greater than 0, have definitely been on it. They're 6-0 right now, 21 assists for the team, and 10 captures. They've really just been kind of, doing their thing, but holding their own if they have to. I'm proud to see them taking fights, not dodging them, and they're definitely holding it down.
Yeah, unfortunately, they weren't able to get to that Griffin before the Hunger came in. That would have been really, really good. That would have been added to their already strong, equipment set that they have with all the gold and everything they've been farming, because they have been playing they've been playing on the Hunger, just capping things as they can, just moving in. So now it looks like they're going to be on the interior of the castle here, in the interior of these walls. This is a really good position. I personally enjoy, staying up on these walls. It gives you a really good advantage point. Being above the enemy and being above enemies in fights always gives you somewhat of an advantage. So I think they're just going to continue to play slow here, continue to try to just take fights when it matters. And hopefully we might see them push into the legendary vendor here, but I'm not quite sure. It looks like we have Gopher on this Inquisitor, and Anthrage, he's still on that Stormcaller. So that's really good, healing and damage coming out. Bizarre, why don't you talk a little bit about why that's a good combination, especially because they're both ranged casters, right?
Yeah, the great thing about the Inquisitor is you don't have to point at someone to heal them. It's got a lot of group AoE heals. So what they can do is just pretty much lay those heals out, and it can go right through the walls pretty much. So it's really, really powerful. And they have an ability that also will prevent death, their Fire of Life there. So one thing that we're seeing here is that the fog's coming in. We just switched to winter a minute ago, and the keeps are now all consumed by this hunger. So any team that wants to res, they have to res at this center castle here. This team has found a way up on top of this roof, and it seems like that's where they're going to hide. There is a team below them that is trying to get to them, but I don't think they're going to be able to make it. These guys are some ninjas for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen somebody get on top of that roof before. That's pretty unique. Bizra, are they missing 2 players? It looks like it, right? They only have 3 players on the screen here. This is the murderous muddle of marauders. Did they lose 2 of their players? Were you able to catch that?
Yeah, they had 2 guys get picked off early. I think they had gotten separated at one of the keep battles here.
Magical's gonna go down. Oh no. Magical just got taken out by boot camp casual, so now they only have 2 people left. That's extremely unfortunate, Bizra.
Yeah, they did have 2 dudes escape up to the north there, and one thing that's important to talk about is the groups that took this castle early were the ones that got the sweet treasure on top, and these teams that are arriving late, are missing out on some of this stuff. And like we talked about earlier, having these end game weapons from the legendary vendor is so important, as they provide a really big damage boost for the players.
So you can see bootcamp casuals here. They're hitting up this epic vendor. So this epic vendor actually spawns in a random location out here inside of the castle's courtyard. So you got to kind of hunt it down and be able to do it. But that's good, because now they're gonna have epic gear, at least across their members. It looks like they might be trying to move into the castle here, or at least not be in between the hunger and another team. Mr. Mostmad's on that Stormcaller. Another Stormcaller we're seeing today, Biz.
Yeah, it seems like these guys are chasing somebody. Let me bring you in closer to the action here. Bar these trees. Sorry, guys. It looks like they're taking on my boys, the murderous marauders here.
They're trying to clean them up
down here. Ooh. I think there's one of my boys
like
left, and that's it.
One person. Did we just see an X? I don't think we saw it. I think, he was able to get out with that Confessor ultimate. It looks like he was able to go invis. He's just going to be chased down now. So it looks like Bootcamp is out for blood. They want to be able to knock out another team here, have it be 4 teams left in this final circle. He was able to pop out another Confessor ult and sneak away. That's incredible.
He gone.
He was able to get out. He's out. He's gone. Oh my goodness.
Sneaky. That's sneaky.
Checking in with Rufio here. Rufio, it looks like there's a big fight going on top of this castle. Catch us up, man.
Yeah, so on the Parallel Forces, they have been sitting here waiting for the teams to show up. They are all geared out with legendary gear, I'm assuming. And look at them just melting. These guys are just doing so much damage, and they have been holding this position. They're doing a great job right now.
Yeah, they don't want anybody to get through this doorway. It looks like if they can knock out this team, this is 2 veteran teams going at it. Most of these names are known throughout the community, so this is going to be probably a really high skill fight here. Again, with greater than 0, that death team, they have those 2 Templars, so that's a lot of stuns and a lot of AoEs they're going to be putting down on this staircase. And this staircase, it's a really difficult fight to be in, because there's not a lot of space to move around. And you can't really have, the best positioning. It looks like some of the death squad is running away. Yeah, it looks like they're jumping
out.
Yeah, they got to get out of there. I think they realize that they're going to lose this fight. And Parallel Forces, they have the castle, Biz. So yeah, it looks like they just left.
Yeah, they don't want any of that smoke for sure. This is not the time to mess around. Our statue in the courtyard is about to be consumed. This is literally the last seconds people can res. So whoever holds this baby is pretty much in charge.
So it looks like we're checking. Oh, okay, so it looks like Boot Camp Casuals has ran into the escaping greater than zero team, met them out here into this field. So we should see hopefully maybe more a bigger fight here. These are also two pretty veteran teams again going at it. We're looks like Equinar's spotted in on Brizinger. I definitely said that wrong. He's on a champion. It looks like.
They got to get out
It
of the
looks like
fog.
they're trying to. Yeah, they're trying to fight by this hunger. This is definitely a rough. Mr.
Oh,
Mustang's going to go down to the hunger.
To the
Another one's going
fog.
to go down into the hunger. Oh no, this is not good for Boot Camp Casuals. They just lost 2 or 3 people to the hunger, and now it's just time to clean up for greater than zero. While they're also getting poked from what is most likely parallel forces above them, just poking them, Bizra.
Yeah, this is not good for them. Taking 2 losses to the hunger there is a very, very big mistake. I don't think they were paying attention to where they were, and they paid for it. It looks like they're going to make some final moves.
Parallel Forces is going to be
greater
trying to
than zero.
sandwich this fight here. Yeah, Parallel Forces is going to be coming in and trying to sandwich greater than zero behind with this enemy team and maybe into the hunger here. So this is a real scattered fight. Lots of people are chasing in different directions. It looks like Beardsley TV might be the last person left of Boot Camp Casuals. If he goes down here, they might be knocked out. He's going to get pulled in with the net from the Titan of Parallel Forces here. He's still going to get out. Okay, they're not going to chase that. They are like, okay, it's one guy. I don't want to deal with that. They're going to focus on the actual fight. But fighting in this room with the with the hunger here, this is a hard fight to be in right here. If you're not outside of this room in the next maybe 5-10 seconds, you're going to get chunked by that hunger, Bizra.
Yeah, I don't know what these guys are doing. I think they're just trying to keep their DPS condensed into a small circle. Bringing this team into the doorway really creates a choke there, and I think that's really what they're trying to do. I don't know if it's going to work out for greater than zero because we have Corvus Constrips in the courtyard here, just holding it down.
So Hollow Death just used the Wood Elf racial dodge ability, which was a blink. As if you saw him just like blink out there, which didn't work out very well for him. He blinked right into the Corvus Construct team. So the circle is getting quite small here. We have all these teams condensed into one spot. 5 teams, 17 people left. We're gonna see hopefully a big battle here at the end. That nobody wants the circle to be the determiner of the winner. So hopefully we see a lot of aggression coming out from these teams, Bezra.
Yeah, we've got some stragglers fighting. It looks like off behind the shot here, just struggling to stay alive. Hoping they can get a qualifying position here. But there's a lot of teams left with full teams. I think it's really anyone's game at this point.
Yeah, I don't see anybody missing anybody. Maybe greater than zero. Maybe they might be getting a little low here on people. I think they may have lost somebody. I can't really see them, unfortunately.
They found the Boot Camp Casuals guy, and they will go down.
Oh man, so Boot Camp Casuals just got knocked out.
Oh, and my boys,
another team just got
Murderous
Muddle just
Marauders.
got knocked out as well.
I'm sorry,
Dude, Parallel
brother.
Forces, they're just going after people right now, man. They're just going after
They might be the
people.
knockout kings, Dilbo.
They don't want the. This is it, man. This is the final moments of this fight here. 2 minutes left in the match. The circle's going to start closing in ever so slowly. There's a big knockdown coming out. Corvus Constructs is going to be trying to sandwich this Parallel Forces team in between them and greater than zero. Both teams are trying to put down as much damage onto what it looks like this middle team here. Scipio, oh, he's getting CC'd. He's really knocked down, but he is on that Templar. I'm not sure if it's a Paladin or if it's a Secutor. So regardless, he has a lot of survivability. So, okay, so it looks like greater than zero was able to get out of that fight and force Corvus Construct and Parallel Forces to end up fighting each other. Sicko on that Titan
They can get
spinning
the crash
the winning
on Duffy
here.
here. They can crash
Big
Duffy.
knockdown
That's
on
it for them.
Maywin. Nobody's getting. Oh, Naywin might get a little low here, and he might be going down. Looks like he's getting focused towards Lord Theo. Corvus Construct's going to have to jump out of that fight. It looks like people are jumping into the hunger. The fog starts inching in slowly and slowly. The fight is going to have to move into the center here as people start dropping. 14 people left, 3 teams who is going to be the winner here. All the damage coming out in AoEs. Everybody's really low. There's a lot of low health bars here, Bizra.
Yeah, Lord Feo might go down here. I don't know if they have the heals to keep him up on the Corvus Constructs team. I'm not sure at this point. It's really anyone's game as this circle comes in. 45 seconds, boys.
You see the healers healing, the Templars parrying, and the Titans spinning to winning. And we're going to see,
bandaging.
you know, what team is going to be able to out heal and out damage everybody else. Nobody's gone down yet. There's still 14 people alive. Somebody die. Okay, there's 13 people alive. There was a huge knockdown coming out. Huge knockdown. When you're knocked down, you can't heal. 10, 9, 5. 5 people left. It's between Corvus Construct. Corvus Construct was able to win it. Naywin, who was going to die multiple times in that fight.
We have no one dancing today, Dilbo. They're all dead.
He died. He must have died to a dot at the end of that match. He must have died to a damage of time effect in that match. At the end of that match, that was insane. People just drop like flies at the very end moment there. Oh my goodness, Bizra, what did you? Yeah, holy crap, man! What did you think of that?
Woo. Corvus Conscripts has been trying, man, to get a team together that can pull through the victory. I know these guys have been practicing and really trying to get it down, and I'm happy. You know, Cinderella story. These guys were eliminated, you know, first in one of the qualifiers before, so I'm just happy to see them pull through on it.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I forgot about that. As they were able to win it there, they were knocked out in one of the qualifiers before, and now they're going straight into the finals. That's great for them. 10 kills, 8 team deaths, 34 assists were the winners. Corvus Conscripts. I've been saying constructs, haven't I? Corvus Conscripts. Second place team had 13 kills. That was Parallel Forces. So yeah, it looks like, you know, the 3 teams that were really in a lot of fights throughout the match, or you know, playing you know, with a lot of like you know, planning, and they had an idea of what they were trying to do. Those are the 3 teams that were in that final fight at the end, Bizra. Greater than 0 with their 9 kills there. You see Anthrage on that Stormcaller that we mentioned in the beginning of the match with the 400,000 damage, Bizra. Don't underestimate the Stormcaller, right?
No, and Warp Star bringing it down. Most damage dealt, 576,000. Definitely something I didn't expect to see, but you know, these guys, all 3 of these teams practice, and it seemed like they really brought it, and their preparation paid off. You know, these guys were methodical, like velociraptors, swarming around their prey, really going in for the bite when it was time. They really just made sure it happened and brought the heat for sure.
Yeah, so Warpstar had a lot of damage there. He also had 9 kills, and he had 9 of the 13 kills for Parallel Forces. That's a great showing from one of our players of Crowfall and of Hunger Dome. So that was a great qualifier rounds, man. I mean, qualifier round 5, that was great to see. You know, those last moments, Biz, they really get intense. Like I everybody was still alive for so long, and then they just started dropping like flies, man. It was wild.
Man, I feel really bad for that Valeria team that got knocked into the hunger there at the end on that backside of the castle. Huge knockdowns from the opposing team, just trapping them there. And the way this game works is you only have so much stamina, so you can only retaliate or get out of these stuns so many times. So, you know, making choices when to retaliate is a real deal. And when that fog's coming in, that hunger, not having to retaliate and get just pancaked, I mean, they had it coming, you know, they saw it coming, and it got them for sure. So
yeah, that's actually a really good point. You know, with the way that CC currently is in the game, it's important to make sure you hit retaliate when you know you're going to need it, because if you're using your stamina to retaliate, you're not going to be able to retaliate when you need to retaliate. And in case you guys don't know what I'm saying when I say retaliate, that gets you out of CC, right? So if you're stun locked, or you're laying on the ground, that gets you out of it. It's a mechanic in Crowfall. So we're gonna talk more about the winners, more about today's match and tomorrow's match, and check in with our spectators. But we do want to bring up our partnership with Razer. They work together with us to make some awesome mouse mats with this awesome Crowfall artwork. And Biz, do you think if we say we want these one enough, we'll get one of these in the mail too, just like we did with the t-shirts?
We can definitely try, Dilbo. I really do like the artwork on this guinea here. I want to give a shout out to the artist. The clouds in the backdrop look great, and the shiny little sneaky dude there. You know, as conniving as he may be, they did a great job putting these together for us. So definitely go check them out if you want one.
Yeah, go to razorstore.com and pick yourself up one of them. They got those 2 sizes there. So thanks for Razer collaborating with Crowfall and putting some awesome Crowfall artwork onto some mouse pads, and those are always really cool. Mouse pads have kind of become like a collectible thing that people have been really getting into, me myself included. Yeah, man, that was a wild match. You know, one thing that kind of surprised me, there was that, oh, man, I'll have to look up their team name, the Skeleton Army, right? That was a bunch of new players we haven't seen before, Biz, right? They I think they got to like 5th place or something. That was wild to see. That was really good to see too.
Yeah, definitely some surprises there. Like, I didn't expect so many people to be in that final area, you know, around that castle. I didn't expect so many singles to make it there. You know, we had some sneaky dudes that thought they could squirrel into that qualifying position, and it might have worked out for them. I definitely didn't see my dude on the guinea make too much magic, but one thing that we did see is Corvus Conscripts coming in and bringing the heat like they practiced. It is good to see the underdog. You know, these guys have tried to bring it, and again, there's my man, the Ganetian with the stink bomb.
Whoever makes the Ganetian Slayer the top kill person in this tournament, I'll give you a shout out. I don't know. Tell me what you want. I want to see that, man. Make it happen, chat. Make it happen. Somebody in the Crowfall community, please. That'd be awesome to see.
He'll be the MVP.
So yeah,
we'll make him MVP.
Yeah, for sure. That'll be my MVP, my heart's MVP, right?
Sure.
I'd love to see that. Oh man, yeah, just a great match, Biz. Really, I mean, that was awesome to see. You know, one thing that I found really interesting was the death team. Sorry, I always forget the name. Greater than Zero. You know, they were able to be. They played really slow, right? They hugged the hunger as it went in, cap things. It was a really interesting play style to see, and they didn't rush those chests in the beginning, right? They hit that town in the beginning, got all that gold. It was really interesting to see.
Yeah, they avoided some early fights there, which was smart, but then they didn't the whole time. You know what I mean? What we see is some people will play passive the entire time, but these guys took care of business first. They got their cash straight, and then they went in and made that happen. But I think at the end, it comes down to who survives in that final circle. One thing that we saw from the Corvus team is that their heels really were there today. They brought it. There's no other way to put it. You can't neglect what they did. And that Templar with the final hold there in that circle definitely won it for him for sure.
So we're going to be moving into the kind of the end of the show here, checking with our spectators, all that kind of stuff, talk about tomorrow's Twitch drops. But before we do that, we did something in the beginning of the show, Biz, where we talked about the Alienware collaboration we're doing with them, right? We go to the Crowfall Game Twitter account. You retweet this image with the amount of Ganetians that you see in it, and you win yourself one of these awesome t-shirts. And I got a list of names here to read off. The correct number of Ganetians was 7. And you guys know how I am with names, so I apologize if I do this wrong, but I'm gonna read them off here. So Jeremy Rowley, Trunks 4209110, Foix 1. Oh my goodness. And then Alec Turi. Oh my, come on, guys. Wivart Jason. Oh no Penguins, Senya Licha, Deadly Habit, and Fidian. Congratulations, everybody. All right, listen, if you're gonna win, you gotta give me some easier names. This is
we don't pay Dilbo. We don't pay Dilbo to read the names. I'm sorry, but he does his best. Yeah, sorry if he murdered him.
That was rough, man. That was rough. I didn't pass English class that well, to be honest with you. So yeah, congratulations everybody. If you didn't win a t-shirt today or in the past qualifier, that's every single day. So make sure you guys are paying attention tomorrow for the qualifier round 6, the wildcard rounds, and the final, and you'll be able to get yourself an awesome t-shirt. So and then also today, hopefully you won some cool Twitch drops, but tomorrow we have Twitch drops as well. We want to just highlight this, make sure you were able to get that. These are the ones from today that you were able to get right around in style, and then today or tomorrow, I'm sorry, Bizra, these are some really awesome ones. I really like that Hungerfied Hellcat mount. That's really, really unique, isn't it, Biz?
Yeah, he's ferocious. I really like his teeth. His dentist has done great work. But definitely hook up your Twitch account with your Crowfall account at crowfall.com/Twitch, and you can get those drops. And another thing to mention is you guys got to claim them in your Twitch inventory. So make sure after the stream you go and claim those. They are there. And then those drops will go right into your in-game inbox on the main menu in Crowfall. So it happens pretty quick. So you'll see people riding around on purple mounts already. So
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's free to make a Crowfall account. So even if you don't have access to Crowfall right now, you can still make an account and get those drops, right? So when you do get access
they
to
go into your
Crowfall,
bank. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're already there, right? So make sure you do that. Go to crowfall.com/Twitch, but also go to crowfall.com and sign up as well. Get into the game, get into the MMO and Hunger Dome. It's a great time. We all love it, right? It's a lot of fun. Speaking of people who love the game, these are our affiliates. They helped us out today, right, Biz? So Furious, my good friend, what's up, man? What did you think of the match? Was it the aggression that you thought you were gonna get at the beginning of the match?
Yo, it was sorry, I'm a little happy right now. Shout out to my Corvus boys. Sorry, I'm a little happy for him.
Oh, that's good. It's good to be happy.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely the aggro match I was looking for. Super enjoyable. Corvus took the fights that they needed to going into the castle. That clutch 2v2. It was either going to be Corvus or it was going to be that other team, that other brand new team with those brand new players. Which shout out to those brand new players for jumping into the contest. But yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Had a great time.
So you'll be back tomorrow, right, for another qualifier round, helping us out. Where can we find you on your Twitch and all that jazz?
Yes, sir. You can find me at twitch.tv/FuriousBeardShow. And from there, you go to the About tab, and you can find all my other links there. And I will catch y'all tomorrow.
All right, Furious. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much, man. Rufio is with us next. We're going to be rating him later. Rufio, what'd you think of today's match, man?
Wow, what an amazing match. It was great to watch both my teams that I was spectating, watching Less Than Zero and watching Parallel Forces. They got into a lot of engagement, great fights. It was super fun to watch. So again, I will be streaming right after this. We'll be rating. So if you want to check out my channel, it's right below, twitch.tv/Rufio. I've also been working on YouTube, putting up daily Crowfall content. So make sure to check me out on YouTube. I just put up our last night's Major Siege battle on YouTube. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. I'm going to go set up my stream.
All right,
Later.
Rufio. Yeah,
Thank you,
definitely
Rufio.
go do that, man. Rufio definitely helps the community, helps you guys learn a bunch of stuff. So, and then last but certainly not least is Equinar. Equinar, what's up, man? What did you think of today's match?
Oh man, it's enough to bring a tear to your eye. That Corvus team has been trying their hardest, and they finally were able to pull out a win.
Yep. Get right into those finals. Yeah, that was great, man. That was great to see.
Yeah.
Hey, it goes to show, though, being determined and just working together. One thing that Furious mentioned is these guys keep their cool and they just keep trying. So that's cool. It's cool to see.
Yeah, you could definitely see them not get flustered during that final fight when they started getting sandwiched. They took a step back, took a breath, and then actually drove.
It's like
home.
they're used to it.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay. Yo, Equinar, thank you so much for helping us out, man. And we'll see you tomorrow. All right, man. Appreciate you.
Definitely. See you later.
Alrighty, so that was all of the affiliates of Crowfall helping us out, controlling those cameras, keeping us up to date on what's going on when we can't see it ourselves. But one other person helped us out today. Well, helped me out today. Bizra, couldn't do this without you, man. Thank you so much for helping me out and adding the pizzazz to everything, to the entire show.
Yeah, man, I'm definitely happy to be here. I love Crowfall. I've been playing since 2018. Check me out by searching for Bizra. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. To be a part of my Crowfall team, check out my guild hacks on the Crowfall forums. And to see my man flexing, check out Chad Rodell on TikTok.
Yeah, he definitely runs a real good guild, and it's good to do this with you, man. So thank you. I'll see you tomorrow for another qualifier
Appreciate
round,
it.
and it's hopefully it's even better than the one today.
Hey, we'll see what
So-
happens.
So just one more time, we want to thank our sponsors, right? I couldn't think of sponsors. Alienware, thank you so much for providing that awesome Twitter challenge for all of our viewers and providing, the laptops and the gear to our competitors, making this all happen. And then Intel as well with their Core i9 10th gen processor helps Crowfall run the best it possibly can. I have this in both of my streaming and my gaming rig, so definitely thanks to Intel. And then our signature sponsor, Razer, with their Chroma series integration with Crowfall. So as you're casting cool abilities and things like that, your stuff lights up and matches what's going on in game. So thank you so much to all of our sponsors, our signature sponsor, Razer, for helping make the entire Eternal Champion series a thing and putting on a great qualifier round 5. So yeah, thank you guys so much for being here today, man. I hope you guys enjoyed today's qualifier round. The match was awesome. Hopefully you guys won some awesome twist drops, and we'll be back tomorrow for qualifier round 6, and then next weekend is wild cards, and then we're working our way towards the finals. So thank you so much for all the support, supporting Crowfall, supporting Ace. Make sure you go to crowfall.com, sign up for the game, get in, man. It's a heck of a lot of fun. And there's everybody in the community will help you learn if you're wanting to learn the game. So once again, my name is Dilbo Davgins. That's Dilbo with a B. You can check me out on twitch.tv/DilboDavgins, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much.